Well, call in the Electors. It's time that our Balchinian friend here got his turn in the sunlight. You know, one of the things I've never quite understood about things like this in the fantasy genre is why are the human races still so popular? It's a setting where you can be literally anything you want, and yet people still want to be human. Very, very odd. One day someone's going to have to explain that to me. Anyway, so this time around we are going for our getting started. Our legendary start guide is going to be on Emperor Karl Franz and Reichland, the most vanilla of vanillas that you can vanilla. So, faction effects for Reichland. They have plus 10 relations with the Empire. I assume that actually means things like Midland, Sterling, the other Empire parts of the map. Lord Recruit Rake is plus 2. Campaign movement range plus 10% for all characters, which is actually pretty nice. Upkeep minus 15 for Rake's Guard and Great Swords units, which is, in my playstyle, pretty useless. And leadership plus 8 for the Lord's Army, which is... we start off with some handgunners, some halberdiers, and some Reichsguard. I'm going to be playing this on Legendary, very hard and Legendary, because you can't go any harder than that on battle. And for their attributes, they have the summon the Elector counts with Imperial Authority and all that sort of stuff, which I will be explaining throughout. As always, this is perfectly relevant on lower difficulties as well. It's just things might be a little bit easier for you, might not get so attacked. Now, since the Twisted in the Twilight DLC and update and all that, the aggression on the vampire counts has been cut down a fair bit, so we probably won't see some of the exciting and interesting things that you might have happen with them. But that is okay. Now, first things first with the Reichlanders. They have, of course, the usual Imperial Authority. They have Elector counts and Electoral machinations. Now, I'll quickly go through some of these before we dive into Karl himself here. So, the Elector counts, basically you can see here, these are your Electors. Every little area will give you a different thing for each of the armies, a weapon, and a availability of certain units, which I will also show.
Blessings, yes.
So as where we start, we get the Carabao Greatswords, Dragon Tooth, which he is currently equipped with, which is a pretty nice weapon. And he's the Elector Count of Reichland, so enemy winds of magic minus 15%, research plus 10%, recruit rank for Empire Knights units plus 2, and upkeep minus 5% for Elector Count State Troops, which is what these Carabao Greatswords would be. So, you know, each one will give you a different thing. So if we get Wizenland, for example, we get the Emperor's Wrath Steam Tank, Bloodbringer, and that would happen for whoever is the Elector of Wizenland. Missile resistance 40%, missile strength for artillery units, and that sort of thing. So if you're actually playing as Balthazar Gelt, that's a really good one to give him.
As you say.
On top of that, you've got Fealty, which is basically how much they bend the knee to you. And you see here, it goes ranges from 7, 3, all over the place here. And you've also got prestige, so you get prestige through political events, winning battles and all that sort of thing. And you get fealty through various interactions as well, for having high relations, for defending their settlements, all of this kind of stuff. And you can lose it as well, which is bad. And you've got Imperial Authority. So when you get into your plus 1 Imperial Authority, your tax rate goes up for all your provinces and your growth does. Where you start, you've just got a bit of a lack of growth. If you lose fealty, or Imperial Authority, it goes down until you have civil wars and all these sorts of things. And you can have it so your provinces have bad public order and cost more and all this sort of stuff. You won't make as much money. It's all a bit of a balancing act. Until you control everything, in which case it's no longer a balancing act, you just slaughter everything in your path. I like the slaughtering everything in your path way of doing things, really. Now, to start with, I want to upgrade that.
Summon the Elector Counts.
Now, when we go talk about play styles, to start with, you don't have a lot of choice in your play style because you've got your basic, a couple of ranged units and some melee units. Now, I like to play ranged heavy, which works fairly well for the Reichlanders, but it's not always the way. Their melee infantry isn't the best, at least on legendary difficulty.
Bring me to my men.
On your lower difficulties, it can be a bit
This
better.
action does not have my consent.
But
Fight for our
as it
victory.
is, really they're more protection for my ranged units than anything else. Alright, first battle. Let's see, let's get into it. So really, essentially what you want to do is, in your first few turns, is try to consolidate your province, get rid of the Empire Secessionists. Because they're not the only problem you're going to have, you're also going to have orcs coming along to invade you, and vampires and such things. It can be a bit of a rough one. But if you persevere, you'll be fine.
My subjects call.
We'll pop him up front here.
Yes, sir. For the Emperor.
You guys all like that. We'll get the handgunners to the side here. We don't want them.
We are ready.
Alright, so basically what we've got is we've got Spearmen, good at anti-large.
Show us the foe.
Swordsman, good at not much at all.
We are Sigmar's
Halberdiers, not really good at much either. Anti-large as well though, like them. Swordsmen are just basically dudes with shields. Handgunners, they will shoot essentially dead flat, so you don't want people in front of them. If people are in front of them, they'll get shot. Whereas crossbowmen like these guys, they have arcing shots, so they won't at least fire directly into things. So we've got a plus 24 melee attack for him. Yep, good, good. Got our Reichsguard over here. Reichsguard, we want to try and get around behind the enemy formation to try and hit their crossbowmen.
Yes, General. Go to battle.
Hitting their crossbowmen is the best idea. Now, he's probably going to be pretty rubbish in combat at the moment. It's generally not too big a surprise for your first battles, especially again on Legendary, where things just are against you. Let's face it. They're getting a bit too shot at there. Don't want that.
Taking position at speed. Take the ground.
They're all heading forward still though, so we're just going to send the Reichsguard in.
The Empire endures.
Swordsmen. Spearmen do not have shields, so
At speed. Reichsguard Knights.
the Reichsguard right through them.
Quick march. We obey.
It's a good way to disrupt
Yes, sir. Quickly.
their back line.
I will not stand idle.
You won't stand idle
Reichsguard Knights.
while I'm here.
Take the ground. Moving now.
Now, the unit of spearmen could be a bit of a pain if we let them be. But we're not going to let them be.
Yes, sir.
We are just going to play silly buggers with them quite a bit.
Swordsman.
Swordsman to there. This has gone very well so far. Beautiful. There we go. Their lord is dead as well. Reichsguard, go chase them down. We want as few of them to live as possible. Get him into the swordsman over here.
Missiles will fly.
I used doing that.
Handgunners.
Handgunners, they're in range, so fire at them. So basically what we want to do here is we want to wipe out as many of them as possible so that we have the chance of completely wiping out this army this turn. It's not always that easy, unfortunately. They're shattered now and they've got very few models left, so they won't be coming back. Pull Carl out of here and we'll send him off to fight those swordsmen. Alright, Reichsguard, let's get you at the swordsmen here. They're quite low. So let's see if we can get rid of some of these larger units. In the least, the more you can chase down, the more likely you are to not have to fight them a second time. Normally that's not how I'd do it. With other starts, you'd find ways to actually fight these armies twice, but you don't really want to just in this case, because there's going to be plenty of battles, so you'll have plenty of opportunity to actually get your levels up. So don't worry so much on this case. He took a fair bit of a beating in this, but that's alright. Go get him. No, you're winded. You'll be fine. It's looking pretty good. Yeah, they won't be coming back. Yeah, if you can get them down to generally about 10-ish soldiers left, you're going to have them wiped out at the end of the battle. Handgunners and the Reichsguard did a good job on that one. Not handgunners, crossbowmen. Handgunners did good too. Excellent. Yeah, so if he's still around, they're not going to be able to do much. In this case, we'll take the replenishment.
Make haste, men. I command here.
And let's give Carl Fran some extra movement range. Alright, now we did get good replenishment there, and we are in range, so let's get our second battle in here. We will just auto-resolve this one though, and we will occupy. So, good start, and that gives us a single authority as well. Excellent. Oh, and an Iron Curse icon. Excellent.
Summon the Elector Counts.
Now, depending on what you prefer your Carl Franz to be doing early on, I generally, for pretty much every single one of my campaigns, I'll go blue line. Part of it's because then I can reduce costs on my troops and that sort of thing. And then red line, if I know what sort of army I'm building up. Carl, for his unique line, we've got Lord Recruit rank, +1 faction wide, that's not too bad. Bonus versus large and stuff. If you're going to go Reichsguard, I wouldn't suggest it, that can be good. Again, if you're going to go Great Swords, again, I wouldn't suggest it, that can be good. Captains, I actually like captains. I tend to use them for tanks in my army. Upkeep -10, yep, definitely want that. Doesn't matter who you're going for. And weapon strength plus 10% and unbreakable. Unbreakable can be a double-edged sword, but yeah, I'll probably go for that. Deathclaw is a definite. I wouldn't worry about any of the other mounts, but Deathclaw, you definitely want him. Yeah, they're fine. And honestly, his other yellow line is the usual sort of just straight buffs for him, and you've got straight buffs for some of his troops. The way I'm going to be playing it, or the way I do play it, I should say, is I'd go Pistol Corps. That way I'm increasing missile strength for my crossbowmen, my handgunners. Handgunners in here? Yes, handgunners. And I go Imperial Gunnery. I play it very much a range heavy, blow the hell out of them sort of method. And after that you can go Sharpshooter and Artillery Master, or you can just take one of those if you really want to. Entirely up to you, of course. But as I was saying, we will go with... I'm going to go with Leader of Renown. Reduce his recruitment costs.
What?
And since I've done that, I'm going to recruit archers. Because again, like I said, I don't go... I go ranged heavy. Now, as I was saying before, with them being elect accounts, as you can see here, I've got a little 15 turn timer. And there's the Carabao Greatsword, who are exactly like other Greatswords, so they're actually not particularly good in melee. They're low melee defense, low melee attack. They're high leadership, but they're unbreakable, so that doesn't really matter, to be honest. Which is good. And they've got high armor, but they have no shield, so they do get wrecked. They are armor piercing, and they're anti-infantry, so there are some good things about them. But just remember, in the end, they are fairly basic melee infantry, and that's no good. Technology. Got a couple of boosts here for infantry, for cavalry, for your war machines, and for your missiles. Imperial colleges, so that you can make more money. Trade and industry for growth and more money making. And you've got some diplomatic ones as well to give you some boosts with some of the other races. As well as elect accounts where you've got a different fealty threshold, and you can have one that gives you fealty of +1 for everything, but of course you actually have to get Altdorf up to its maximum. I go with missile since I'm going for missile heavy and I don't have any war machines yet. So I find that to be the best one. And basically, from here, we're going to next move towards Uberschreck. Yep, growth is what we want there. I'm going to go crossbowman when we get to there. Where were our... So the captains are, you need to be at rank 3. The other one you want to get, if we go in here, go in this style, you want all your warrior priests, and you definitely want your wizards. Probably the 3 main buildings that you want to be able to build when you hit rank 3 is this one here for mortars and handgunners, and later on for your Hellstorm rocket batteries and steam tanks. This one here for warrior priests, they are actually really good tanks. This one here for wizards of various colours. Alright, before we move on.
Surely an agreement will be
What
reached.
we want to do is try and get as many non-aggression packs and anything else we can get out of the other elect accounts as we can.
Disagree with that.
We have a low chance with pretty much everyone to get anything.
Surely an agreement will be reached. Never.
As you can see, it is not working out well.
What?
Every now and then it goes better. So
Welcome, my countrymen. I don't agree.
he doesn't agree, but we are improving quite a lot with him, so that's good.
So, yes.
Considering he's the one that's supposed to be leading a revolt.
My time is short. Disagree
Seems a
with
bit
that.
odd, but whatever.
Yes. Greetings, my countrymen.
Portland.
A fool's
It's
action.
not going to go well.
What? I will listen,
but my time...
Not in my
Doesn't
name.
look like any of
All
them like me enough. Golden Order should be a
Greetings
bit
on
different,
behalf
though.
of the Empire. Never.
Being another legendary lord, a lot of the time they work a little bit
As a
better.
fellow countryman, I trust as you say.
That's good. So we're friends with them. We've got a friend out there. Got a friend indeed. I actually do tend to try and confederate him first. Or Known, but Known tends to not like you very much, as you can see. Oh, jeez, excuse me. They only have a 2 fealty, so they don't like us very much. I mean, they've got 3, but they like us more than Known does, all the same, so...
Is it time?
You bet it's time. You want a trade agreement with Nordland, eh? It's just not gonna happen.
Here. On march!
Alright, we've got ourselves over here, get some more archers for a vast amount of firepower. Assume they're recruiting as well. Nothing else has really happened at all. But it does mean that... Oh, Toddy Waddy.
By Sigma's
Had
will,
a minute to think
come
about
in
things.
peace.
He's gotten up a little.
We cannot.
Oh. Got 500. So settlements own 10, so it's 5 per settlement. Getting prestige. Prestige later on you'll get dilemmas that'll come up. They're those little boxes that will say, pick one of these options. And you might be able to get more authority, which is always good. I always suggest getting that one if you can. But you also spend it here to improve relations with the various electors. So you do want to try and improve Norm, because if you've got good relations with them, that has a chance of going up. And that also means they're less likely to go to war with you, which they tend to do fairly early on in the campaigns. So they can be a bit aggressive. See if we can get Uber Shriek
Now,
soon.
Sigma compels us onward.
So what have they got?
Not.
They've got 11. We
nation
have
calls.
13. Let's pump that up to 16. Because they also have that. Yep, we will upgrade you as well. That's a good option.
I am Prince and Emperor.
Never know, he may come and attack us, which is also fine. May also just run away, you never know.
Orc scum! You
What would you like? You want a non-aggression pact? I do not want a non-aggression pact with them. That will cause lots of issues around the place. Yep, secessionists decided that that discretion is the better part of valor.
summon the Elector Counts.
Like, bug it off, so we're gonna
Will.
take Uberstreak from them. Just straight up occupy it.
Yes.
That probably means what they've done is they've gone up to Helmgard, which is fine.
Bring me to my men.
We will do a little bit more archer recruiting. Archer spam is coming together nicely there. We'll destroy that building. We don't need it. We'll start building that one. What can we get here? That will generate us a bit of cash. I'm not sure why we've got a plus 35 on that, but whatever. But I think what I want to do is we want to get growth first and probably some money. So that one will get us 250 up to 337. Yeah, I'm not trading with anyone, so I don't have to worry about the trade building yet, so we'll go with that.
I command here.
Assign skill points. We'll drop the price of the archers just a little bit. There we go. Beautiful. Slowly it takes shape. Now, let's have a look-see. So, There is a little trick you can do. It only works if they're actually in the cities. So you'll see. A second. So here I've got military presence 6. It's because of my army.
I am Prince
And so what it
and
does is I've
Emperor.
got what?
So,
Yeah, 19. So it takes
ready.
your 19, divides it by 3, which ends up being 18. And so 6 each. So, and in each of these you get a plus 6, essentially, to say you've got military presence.
Summon the Elector
So
Counts.
say here where you've got 1, that means they've only got the 1 in this province, which means military presence of 1 means there's 1. If they had all 4 and you looked at that, and they had 4, and they had 20 units in that, that'd say plus 5, for example, because it spreads it across the entire province. Now, that being the case, this says military presence 14,
Bring me to my men.
and there is only
The
one
Empire.
place
Not
they can all
likely.
be, so they're all there. So here's what we want to do. We're not going to put anything into Uberstreak right now. What
I
we will
command
do
here.
is we'll move him a little
Onwards.
bit further back, actually, just there. And we'll pop him into
Yes,
ambush
to
stance.
unite the provinces.
Isn't that a strange thing to be doing? So what I want to do is I want to just
Sigma.
try and lure him out so that we can fight him without getting Helmgart as well. Helmgart can come later.
I am Prince and Emperor.
Just want to take out his army first. Because otherwise we'll go to take Isleheart and he'll come back up and take Uberstreak and it'll just be a game of cat and mouse. But if we can pull the turtle head out of his shell, then we will be onto something. See, that's no good. That's exactly not what we wanted. This is where if I had
I
lightning
will
strike,
not obey.
that would be perfect. But we don't.
Summon the Elector Counts.
So just once more, we'll hit up,
I see no
attempting
other
to
option.
ambush. See if we can lure him out again. Let's take just straight up missile strength. You can have that one. You, I'm actually going to put a garrison out. That's this one over here. And that's just because we tend to have issues over there. So if this doesn't work again, we will just go and take Isleheart and then come back for Uberstreak and the various armies therein. Eventually. See, I hate that. I can just get through my ambush so easily. Now this is the dilemmas I'll talk about. We only have 665 prestige, otherwise I'd take the +1 authority, but instead we do nothing and get more
Bring me to my
prestige.
men. Men, I will fight
Let's
with
go
you.
take Isleheart. Excellent. That's not ours.
By the comet.
Does mean we're going to lose the Uberstreak, but that's fine for the moment.
Yes.
We'll come back and get it back off them. And we will also recruit a crossbowman. Actually, let's recruit two. Probably didn't need to get all of these archers then, did I? Oh, wait, no. Can't afford them all. Oh well. We will go with growth +20 and income for trade 5. That seems like a good idea. Can't trade with him. What about Midland? You still like me, don't
Surely
you?
an agreement will be reached.
No, not enough. Alright. Didn't quite get what I wanted, but it's okay. This is where we should lose that other town, which is why we didn't spend any money on it. Uberstreak, that's the one. just sacked it, or no, he literally only sacked it. Okay, that's fine too. Yeah, I think we'll take this migration here.
Now.
Now, what we want to do, they still may take Ubershriek, but we're going to pop ourselves into this little bit of forest here,
What?
so that we can try
In the
and
name of
ambush them
Magnus.
if they decide to hit Isleheart. Yeah, damage building there, that's not a problem. That is fine. It will repair on its own if we let it anyway.
I command here.
Don't have any empty spots. Got it. I should have empty spots, shouldn't I? Oh, well, that's fine. Just quickly run through this one more end turn. See if we can get an ambush in. Come on, you know you want to. Ooh. Our first Orc Incursion has appeared. That's not fun. Oh, we nearly got to ambush him as well. Alright. We are going to do nothing. Except for... Do they have? Yeah, they've got plenty there. Settlement upgrade, okay. Isleheart, you can have a settlement upgrade. So now we've got a problem. Got an orc. Orc and all of
The
his little
nation
attendances. We've got lots of archers, so that is going to be a difficult one. But we're going to worry about that in the next episode as we continue along. So, hopefully this has been helpful. I will see you soon in the next episode. Please subscribe as always. Hope you have a good one. Bye bye.